Okay, there it is. We are live episode 48, man. And I'm not sure if everybody is seeing this right now, but Jamie is on the infamous golf cart
Oh
uh,
yeah,
chewing up battery.
chewing up battery. I'll take our viewers for a little tour around
Yeah.
the campground here. So that would be my nephew and son that just passed me right there. And this is just one of the main drags here at the campground. And I'm on the other side of the campground. I was gonna cut in between a few places to speed up this drive a little bit, but people have since come in and are occupying campsites. So I guess I'll just let everybody know that for the next 5 days, this is where I'll be. I'll be up here. The campground will be it'll be kind of like my base camp, I guess you could say. I'm taking a shortcut here. Don't tell anybody. This will be like my base camp, and my family and I are going to be venturing out and checking out a few different places up here in Northwest Michigan. Today was just a 100% family day. We were to a local amusement park where I put the TG tracker kind of through its paces on roller coasters. So keep your eyes peeled on my YouTube channel for some first-person perspective of riding roller coasters with the TG tracker. And right over here with the awning sticking out, that's my base camp.
Casa de McDonald.
Yeah,
Right.
home away from home. So what have you been up to, Mike?
Geez, I don't know. I'm so excited watching you go live here. I forgot about the show. Well,
Gotta
I
love
think
technology.
the biggest thing is we know that Jamie is going to have limited time on the show tonight because he's down to 15% battery and probably less than that at this point.
15% battery, and I know I'll be hitting my data cap probably.
Yeah, probably. That isn't going to be good for the family, the family plan. But no, I just, it travel, and then I got a couple more weeks to it. Going to California next week, coming back, going to Northern California the week after. So it is a big travel couple of weeks coming up, and should be pretty good. But, I think I'm sort of getting back, and I know you are too, getting into the swing of things after Philadelphia. I mean, that was
exactly.
That was a great trip. And, not to go over the whole thing again, but, on Sunday we had a Google Hangout, much like this,
right,
with about, I don't know, we had seven, eight.
Yeah, I think we had 8 people.
At the end,
I
think we had 8. So,
yeah.
So it was really a great time with everybody there, talking about the pictures that we took over the weekend, the week before, and everybody had a chance to process them a little bit and see what they got, and that was a lot of fun. I know I looked forward to that.
It's a cool way to wrap up a workshop. Normally a workshop, Mike and I would sit down, usually in like a conference room at the hotel that we're staying at, and just go over do an image share or talk about processing. But doing it this way was different because everybody had a week to really spend time and go over their stuff. So it's kind of a cool way of doing it. And to be honest with you, I think that the next workshops we do, we could continue to do the wrap up on location, but also do a week later follow up once people have had time to let the images sink in and really work on them. I
agree. I think it was pretty good actually to have both there the way we did it.
Without a doubt.
It felt real good that way. So, and tonight with Jamie being out on vacation, I've got some stuff I can go over.
Good.
And now I don't think he can share from his phone, right? You can't do image share.
No, I can't. And actually, I just hit 5% battery, so my screen just dimmed on me.
Oh.
So I'll probably be cutting out. I didn't have my phone on a charger all day because we were at the amusement park and literally just got back to the camper. So I'm probably going to have to bow out now and leave you to fend for yourself against the hordes of Mirrorless Minutes viewers. And, and I'll be in touch with you probably in the next few days, Mike. And I just want to say thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight and watches this later. As you know, this is going out to Mike's YouTube channel, but we'll also syndicate this and push it over to the Mirrorless Minutes YouTube channel as well for those subscribers.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for
take care, Mike, and
saying hi. All right.
I'll talk to you later.
See you, man.
Bye.
All right, let's see here. There he goes. All right, he is gone. So we'll go solo at this point. Talk a little bit about what's going on. First off, just next Saturday, I've got that fisheye workshop out at the Camera Mall in Ann Arbor. It's going to be street photography with your fisheye lens. Still got a couple spots on that. Love to have somebody come out there and join us. We got a very small group. Ann Arbor's been really hopping lately. University of Michigan announced a new contract with Nike. They got rid of Adidas, and they've just had all kinds of action now in the town. So there's going to be a lot of people there all the time on the weekends, I think, which is going to be a lot of fun. So if you can get out there, it's 2-3 hours, and come and check it out. The next, let me go over some other Mirrorless Adventures pieces. We're going to be doing a free, come join me doing the Woodward Dream Cruise. And I'm not sure if, for those of you in Michigan, you may know, and for those of outside of Michigan, you may know if you're into classic cars. But the Woodward Dream Cruise draws normally about 1 million people, and it is one day. It'll be the 20th of August on a Saturday. But when I say one day on the 20th of August, it actually starts that Monday prior, and Woodward fills up, and people just cruise. I mean, there are people from all over the world that come to this thing, and literally all over the United States, driving muscle cars, every kind of car you can imagine. So street photography is, it's like shooting in a barrel there, shooting fish in a barrel, very easy and a lot of fun because everybody dresses up in different crazy ways and stuff like that. If you're used to watching Mirrorless Minutes, you might notice that my background has changed a little bit. I've since relocated into another room, a little bit bigger room, which is going to be nicer for me, and I'm in the middle of putting it together. So right now you can see some cameras and some lenses and some bags and stuff that I've got to set up the rest of it, but it should be a lot nicer there. So without Jamie talking, I think one of the things that we brought, or at least I brought back from the Philadelphia workshop, and I told Victoria Diaz, one of our workshop attendants, and Victoria's been on a lot of our workshops with Mirrorless Minutes and that. I explained to her, when last day she was talking about her iPad Pro. And I said, oh my gosh, I don't want to see that thing. I know what's going to happen because Lightroom just made a new addition to their mobile app, and now you can bring in raw files and process them, and they've got the gradient bar on there now. I said, don't let me see it. Don't let me see it. She brought it in at one of the lunches, and that did it for me. So you may or may not have been following some of the things that I've done lately, but there's the new iPad Pro. It is the larger one, and there's a main thing that really is sitting with me about getting this iPad Pro, and that is the main thing is that when I'm going travel, obviously I'm traveling a lot. If you watch a show 2-3 weeks a month, I'm usually out, and I'm usually carrying a work laptop. I've got my MacBook Pro. We have my old iPad. Just too many things. And when I'm out, I don't do a lot of processing when I'm out traveling. I'll take photos, but I don't get a chance to do much processing because I'm not going to bring out everything with the MacBook Pro. I don't have that much time usually. But now with this iPad Pro and the ability to bring in the raw files, and I know I've talked to a few people online since I got it holding up there, the SD to Lightning connector, and bring in your SD card, plug it in there, and when you actually download to your camera roll from the iPad into the iPad Pro, that the raw file is there. So it comes right into and you're working right on the raw file right in Lightroom. And then as long as I make make my collection, put those in the collection. When I sync back up home and put it all together, all those corrections will come right over. And if I want to make any adjustments from my big, iMac or MacBook, I can do it at that time. So yeah, it's really, it's going to be a savings for me in the way that I'm handling just taking things on travel and trips, trying to be lighter, trying to be more nimble. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things I wasn't sure about that I invested in, and absolutely, if you ever get an iPad Pro, you've got to get this, and that is this Apple Pencil. I wasn't too sure because I've seen all kinds of all kinds of different styluses or styli. I'm not too sure which way you call that, but and they're okay. This thing here made for the iPad Pro is absolutely amazing. I mean, when you're working with it, if you press a little harder, you get a little bit more, from a gradient and that, and the different apps that are made through Light or through Photoshop, Photoshop Mix and Photoshop Fix, that are just mobile ones that you can actually transport them from Lightroom to that and then back in and round trip them to these apps. So I'm really absolutely amazing and very happy with this Apple Pencil. Wasn't sure because it is expensive. I think it's about $95 for a pencil. Can't remember ever paying something like that. But very happy with that. And as I continue to get a workflow, I'll cover that in some weeks, coming. That's my plan. My first real trip with it will be next week to California. I've been trying to work on a simulated workflow right now, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's been a big deal for me. I'm really, really happy about it, though. It has made a big difference, I think, in the way things are going to work for me to travel, to be lighter. One of the things Jamie and I were talking about that we wanted to start doing is maybe a little section that each of us features something that doesn't necessarily isn't necessarily about photography, but affects our photography. Things that are outside of the photography world, and things that could help, and maybe we all have these things that we're trying to do. So I've got one of those items to feature tonight, and I have to reach over to get it and also take a drink of water. So hold on, bear with me here. And all right, so I'm back, and this is we'll have the links to all this stuff too in the mail or in the post when it gets out onto YouTube. But this is when I go out, and I like to wear a hat. As you can tell, I usually have one on, but I'll wear a hat. And obviously with weather here in Michigan or everywhere else that I've been lately, it's just been amazingly hot. You've got a little sweat, and you get these stains right across the top. These sweat stains. Some of them are horrible. End up after more and more turn white. And obviously, my Olympus hats, I can't really replace those. So what I want to do is get those things clean. And I don't know if anybody's ever used these things, these hat washers. Looks crazy, but your hat fits right inside there. And I was very skeptical. I read a lot about them, and it was only, I think, $13 or something. But I've since washed 3 or 4 hats that I would have probably just tossed, and they're good as new. And where you wash them, that's the craziest thing. Where you wash them is right in the dishwasher. You put in a light load of dishes and not a lot of soap, and you wash them right in the dishwasher, and it's fantastic. They come out looking clean. Let them dry out a little bit longer when it's all done, and so maybe not photography related, but certainly related to a lot of us wear hats and can get them pretty messed up from the sweat and wherever we go. So that's one of the things I want to feature tonight. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is this little thing called Small Rig. And it, again, I run a thing called the TG Tracker Enthusiasts, and that is on Facebook. If you don't belong, join. It doesn't cost anything. It's just a Facebook page. But it's a great page for everybody that's getting a TG tracker or wants to know about a TG tracker. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's talking, showing what they did, posting pictures, but it's a community just for the TG tracker. So one of those community members, Russell Ledford, I believe he's a firefighter too, because he's used this, it looks like, on his helmet, uses this thing called a Small Rig. And as you know, I'm always looking for some things to do on my bike, and things that I can put on there. And of course, the TG tracker fits perfect for that. But if anything that can make it easier for me, something that can make it clamp on, clamp off, where it's you're not doing all types of different maneuvers with it. That's really what I'm looking for. So I wanted to just check this thing out, and I used it last night, and I couldn't be happier. I'm gonna, as I'm talking here, this normally I'd be able to grab it and have Jamie on the phone, but I want to grab my TG tracker so I can show you here. So hang with me for a second. Okay, back in here. Now, the TG tracker, of course, as you know, has the quarter 20 on the bottom, and you can hook up all kinds of things with, third-party action cam type hookups, where you've got the two swivels and you're tightening things down. But I like it when it goes direct to that quarter 20, and this has it. I'm going to show you real quick. I'm putting it on. This has that ability to go straight to the quarter 20, and here it is. This is what it looks like. I think. Okay, this is what the small rig looks like, and see if I can get it a little bit better there. It's got this heavy duty clamp. Okay, super heavy duty clamp that can get very wide down to very thin, and then on this side, this little clamp here will turn, and you can make that tracker go anywhere you want. And if you're trying to do things, I was trying to do things off of the front forks. I was trying to do things off my seat posts, handlebars, anywhere I wanted. I could change this and make a quick change without undoing a bunch of little bolts off to the side and hope I got them tight. So I really like this little small rig, and I think again this was maybe $15. That link will be in there. I would highly recommend this because you can put this on so many other things. I could have put this. I tried to do some stuff on my lawnmower before. I could have just put this right on the lawnmower simply and done. So check that out. And thanks a lot, Russell. And these are the kind of things that really help share some of that stuff on that TG enthusiast. And again, if you don't belong to that page, ask to be on it. It takes 2 seconds, and we'll get you on. And a lot of great things are exchanged there. A lot of great ideas. Okay, let's see. And what else do we have? Well, you know what? Since Jamie's not here and he didn't give me any pictures to share, I really have a hard time talking about his pictures anyways. So I am going to share some pictures from the last couple weeks here, and I'm hoping now everyone can see. We're going to start here though. Yep, and I can see that. I'm pretty sure that's coming through. All right, what this is here, and a couple of things I want to tell you about is the process that I used, as well as just where it's at and that. This here was from when Jamie and I were out of Chicago. We got one day to just sort of, actually it wasn't even a full day. It was basically a short day that we didn't have anything in the morning. And so we spent about 5 hours, went over to the University of Chicago. And, this whole University of Chicago is probably the closest to Hogwarts and Harry Potter. The buildings, amazing, just amazing. As you can see, this chapel here called the Bond Chapel. And I think Jamie has a picture of this as well. You can't get into this chapel. And we happened to be walking by, and one of the people there that worked at University of Chicago said, "Hey, would you guys like to see this?" And we knew we wanted to anyways. And she let us in, and at first she didn't turn the lights on. And I'm going to tell you, you couldn't even see the chairs 5 foot in front of your face. She finally turned the lights on, and even then it was so dark. It was amazingly dark. This is a 5 exposure HDR. But what I did with this one, a little different, is I put it into Aurora HDR, and that's by Mac Fun. And of course, you do need a Mac to make that happen. So if you're on Windows, I apologize, but I know you need a Mac to do this stuff, this Aurora HDR. And one of the people we're going to have on the show probably in the next month or two is Jim Nix out of Austin, Texas, and he's an expert at this Aurora HDR, one of their actual experts for that. You'll see a lot of posts, and I've shared some things, but look him up on Facebook, Jim Nix, and he talks about luminosity masks See, I said that quick 5 times. And I put this through that luminosity mask and did some of the work here after a 5 exposure HDR. And love how, and I'll just sort of outline it here with my mouse, the blues in the stained glass came out, and you actually got some detail. Lights, just that whole blue ability to pull out. It was so dark in that place. So really great job on a video. He's got YouTube videos, and he shares them on Facebook all the time about processing. And I really recommend go follow him and check him out. And we're going to have him on the show to talk about his adventures as well. So a couple of weeks ago, right after Philly, I came back and I had to get out and travel for work, and went over to California, Orange County area, and had some time just before sunset after work there, head over to Huntington Beach. And there's the famous, you're looking at right there is the Huntington Beach Pier. It's fantastic. I mean, there's tons of action behind me, of course, that you can't see. And, I wanted to show the powerful waves, and the color looks good. I've got the next one to show you, the actual sunset, but this one in black and white just really did it for me because it balances. I've got the surfer on this side coming in, and I've got the gentleman standing up here looking out at the sunset. This is shot with the Pen F, the 17 millimeter, prime, and it's shot in the mono profile 2. So just love what that does for it. Again, straight from there, brought this home. This is what I was practicing my workflow on the iPad. Went to the iPad, did a little crop at the bottom, boom, done, and very happy with that. Okay, so here's the actual sunset in that pier, just from a little bit down lower, except I pulled out and had the 9 millimeter body cap lens, the fisheye. And I love that fisheye. It's got that little warp. You can see the warp in the, in the poles here holding up the pier. But just really cool, very low perspective. There's so many people around. I was trying to get something maybe that didn't have a person. I don't normally I am shooting people all the time, but you can tell. And it great as the sunset went down there at Huntington Beach Pier. If you get out there, I highly recommend you hit this area. All right, the next one, this lone surfer. As you can tell, the sun's going down, and you can see how busy the beach was. It was probably about 98 or 99 degrees at that time. And this surfer just basically, he was all alone in this one area. So I was hoping he wouldn't see me, but I was trying to run up behind him as close as I could to get him. And I had that 17 millimeter. Again, this is with the Pen F and that mono profile 2. Just does so many great things. Looks just like a film thing. And next one here, this is actually shot with the Pen F, but in the color profile 3. And this is that like infrared film. There's a local carnival here at one of our local cities, just outside of Detroit. It's called the Sterling Fest. And I just love shooting this ride as it's up in the air. I mean, I really didn't care about if I caught the people or the people's faces, but when they started to swing out like that, trying to capture them all within the same frame, really was a fun job, because I took about 20 to get this one. So, where I wasn't cutting off any feet anywhere and not burying somebody. At least I got them behind there. I wanted it to all be symmetrical. So a lot of fun. If you're at a fair, absolutely. It's a great place. If you're uncomfortable with street shooting, I'd always recommend go out, check out local fairs. They're easy and easy to get by. And then my last one that I want to cover is a gentleman here from the Slow Roll. And, again, if you're not familiar with that, on Monday nights, I'll be in the city of Detroit. You'll find me. And this last Monday night we were out there, we had about 5,000 bike riders that just come out with, every kids, adults, every age in between, suburbs, Detroit City, and people show off their bikes. And this bike was fantastic and so clean, and the guy was great. It was fun to talk to, and got a really sharp picture of him. But people take a lot of pride in their bikes, and we usually ride about 10 to 12 miles. And the city police, the Detroit police, will block off the intersection so we can get through and go through neighborhoods, different ride every week, different location. I'd say look it up sometime. Slow Roll Detroit. It's been made pretty famous. I know the founder there was on a actual iPad commercial for Apple, showing how he brought up and sort of invented the slow roll and how he uses the iPad for it. So really a lot of fun, and just a great picture again. Actually, this one was the EM10 Mark II. That's my bike riding camera with the 14-42 EZ lens on it. It's something that you can just swing over my shoulder and take it back, and try to be as safe as I can when I'm taking shots there. Okay, well, that does the share, and I think we had to start a little early tonight. So because we had to start a little early, I'm probably going to finish up a little early as well. When Jamie and we're going back and forth, sometimes it's hard to get under 30 minutes. But we knew the show was going to be different. We were actually a little nervous that we might not be able to get it going, because I normally don't start the shows, and we had to go through a whole rigmarole to make that happen. But in any case, I do want to talk about our next show in 2 weeks. I'll be coming live probably from, let's see where I'll be, Northern California, somewhere near San Francisco. And but we are going to have one of the attendees of our Philly workshop. She's out of Connecticut, actually, and her name is, I'm hoping I'm going to mess up the name, but Megan Crandallmeyer. And if she messes up, we'll put something in the comments. I'll tell you the right way to say it. But Megan is a street shooter. She attended our workshop, did all types of stuff. She's an Olympus shooter, and has been for a while. And she's got just a fantastic, great personal project she's done. She started this year. And she's got something called 52 Magic Mondays, and we'll try to link in. And if we don't, we're going to have her on to talk about the whole project, how she came about to start the project, what does she do every Monday, and what she actually does is she jumps on the train, in Connecticut there, and heads into New York City. So every Monday she's going into New York City, and she's taking street images, and she's made some amazing captures, and and she's having a lot of fun. And, I think in the end, she's not sure where it's going. Is it going to a book? Is it going to, slideshows? How is it going to get printed? Just some pretty exciting things, I think, when you start a personal project like that. And that's what I'm real interested in. Hopefully a lot of our viewers are too, is how do you start a personal project? How did she come up with the ideas? And maybe she can share some of that with us. So she's going to be on the 17th with Jamie and I, discussing that 52 Magic Mondays. And I know she's got a Facebook page and everything, but Megan Crandallmeyer, you definitely want to check her out, because there are some amazing captures that she's done in the streets of New York. And it's a pretty neat idea. A lot of different things happen on Monday nights there, I can tell. So, all right, well, with that, I think, I know we don't have a lot of viewers tonight, because I think this is going to a different channel. But in any case, I appreciate everybody that's been on watching live. And we will see you in 2 weeks. And until that time, hey, shoot light and shoot often. That's what I always like to say. And we'll make sure to follow us, like it on YouTube. Follow us at Mirrorless Adventures, our meetup group, free to join. We've got a lot of meetups going right now. I think there's 3 scheduled. And as well as make sure that you follow us and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great week and a great weekend as well. Thanks.